right, well here we are again. Kind of figure some stuff out. You've seen the beginning there, we kind of moved and shuffled some stuff, so now my wheel, I'm pretty happy with the position of that. Kind of makes the bumper a little further out, but we can always make a new top. We can extend these, not too concerned. This one will probably, I left the bumper on. We could move it, but it is welded like so much. I think we're just gonna live with it, and it is what it is. Not a problem. So we got this on. I'd like to build all the mounts, the cab mounts this round. That'd be nice just to get the cab sitting on there. Man, this thing's tall. Like if you don't, let me try to give you some idea how tall this thing is. All right. This thing's quite large. I'm not sure how much my wife will like trying to get in and out of this thing. But we can always put a step on it, so that's not a problem. Anyways. So like I said, task at hand. I basically will probably lift the cab up. I'm going to cut these mounts off. Let's give you some light in here. And then in here, you can see it's touching the steering box and stuff. So the plan here is going to be, we'll probably trim. I'll trim up kind of high, not really. I'll trim into this section for now, because we're going to have to eventually get that steering arm on that side. And I think I can lower the cab about 2 inches or something, so should help, I'm thinking. We'll have to just relief some stuff here. We'll do the same on the other side. Get this to sit down a little bit more. I'm going to come up with some kind of a plan to make a mount here. The back ones I'll probably cut off the other chassis because it looks like those will work okay. At least that's my thought. Because if you look right where that one is, I think that's close. I'll measure up. If it's not right, we'll just make an uber simple mount for there. It's kind of the plan. Anyways, I think we got a plan. Now we'll just see what we can do here. We loosey-goosey got her. Well, we brought the cab, or the old chassis in, because I kind of did some measuring and figuring stuff out and whatnot. And I realized that these body mounts are probably going to be bang on. Wow, super close. Because that square body chassis is the same width as this one. So it's kind of silly not to reuse these mounts. Because that's about where I want the cab sitting. So anyways, might have made life easier if I had just left them on and then just laid it on there, but whatever. So anyways, we popped these off. I got all of them off because I think I can probably reuse all of them. Because this one looks like it just, well, we'll have to see. We do have to trim in those fender wells, like I said, just because I want the cab down a little bit more. But we'll kind of see where it sits. I'm going to mock up those front ones, because if those just stay where they are, if the cab ends up being that it has to be kind of this high, I guess I'll just live with it. Because I do kind of want to run like a 33 to a 35-inch tire, but I do want to run like a tall skinny like this. Hopefully I can find something like this. If I can't, I might just run the skinny military tires. Not quite the look I want, but the only thing that's kind of affordable. So anyways, I'm gonna rejig up my hoist so I can actually lift the frame. Like I say, the body is about where I want it. I'm gonna pop the hood. I'm gonna check the front mount super quick, see how those fit, and then we'll kind of refigure the back. Because the only one that will need a little bit of work is the side mounts, but it's so, well, actually I gotta lift the cab. I should say that first, because I do have to blow these mounts off first. I guess I can do it on the truck, but when this one goes in place, hold on, let me get some light there. So like I say, this one's got to come off, but when this mount goes in place, we'll be able to line it up with the other one, and I'll probably have like a small body lift, but it's only on the middle mount. The back mounts will be solid, the front mount will be solid, the middle one will just have a little spacer. So I don't know, I think it'll be fine. Anywho, I guess I'll lift the cab first, and I'm just gonna blow off these mounts because we're all set up to lift the cab, and I think the body's about where I want. I guess when I lift it I can kind of do, well, this side I don't have to do much. Man, eh? This stuff just fits well. Golly, this is a nice mount swap. Just trying to figure out where my front mount is, like right there. I'm curious, very curious. Looks like I have to trim these, but this looks like it's very close to wanting to sit where it's supposed to. Let's see. Well, put it sideways, see what happens here. See, look how close that is to this bottom. Is perfect. So I guess we're gonna leave the cab at the height it's at. See, this side's perfect, so we'll be able to almost like buzz it where it's supposed to be. This mount, we'll have to just trim it back here, because just see where the frame starts to kick up. So when this sits in here, it's going to be kind of like that. We'll be able to blaze it in and kind of reuse the original stuff. How cool is that? It's close. We'll do some trimming here because this is actually sitting on the frame, so this is going to be like just squeak heaven. Hey, if this sucker was a straight frame, it would be the most easiest swap ever. Oh well. Front mounts. Is there back mounts? I don't think there is. I think it's just the front ones. I guess I can do that on the truck. I'm not too worried. Alright, let's jimmy rig this sucker around and let's lift her up on the hoist. All right, well, what did we all do? We had chopped off, cleaned up these. So these are the original mounts. We just tacked them on. We squared the body up. It is like 1/8 of an inch, a little bit out, and I'm not gonna worry about that. It's close enough. We chopped these ones off. Look how close these are. Anyways, this is kind of the plan I think I'm gonna do. So I guess a feller could just do the old body lift there, but that's a 4-inch between here and here. So what I'm gonna do is I got some 2x2, or sorry, 2x4. So I'm gonna do this, trim it, get it to the top of the frame, come up, and then on this side we'll build a gusset to it when we pull the body off, which then will just leave us trying to figure out the front. I have to still somehow, before I do that, just make sure the math that the body is sitting square. I'm hoping so. I'm just gonna measure off the floor, which is probably not perfect. It's because these frames kick down. If they were a perfectly straight frame, all I want to know is if that frame is the same up here, then I know we're on the money. If not, then we're gonna have to do some shuffling, figure stuff out. But it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I was like prying on it, trying to get everything to shuffle over. So a feller could take this stock mount, kind of just, you know, mount it higher, or mount it almost right up till it touches that part, and then kind of rebuild some scaffolding to it. But I don't know. I'm gonna put it down to where it should be. The top can get welded to the frame like it was, and then we'll just build a lift plate off of there and then do a gusset to it again. Should be plenty, should be fine. And again, on the back, we're just tacked in, but it's sitting where it's supposed to sit, or gonna sit. I guess if I see something out, I didn't go too nuts, I can just split this, cut the top, and I can bring this down. Because we do have 1 inch we can kind of go to square things down, but I think it's pretty square. I mean, visually it looks good, so I don't know if there's much to change from there. But we'll look first, and if everything's good, then we'll start welding up these other mounts. I still haven't chopped anything out of here, but it's kind of holding everything in place right now, so I don't want to mess with it. Anywho, I got to do some measuring to figure some stuff out here, and then we will continue on. Well, that was a lot of work. Anyways, this is sort of where we're going. So we've kind of scaffolded our mount. I'm still going to weld some more. I think I want to cap it. I don't know if I need to. What I'm going to do is slug out the bottom. I'm going to put a steel sleeve through the whole thing so we can't crush the pipe at all. Pipe, tube, whatever you want to call it. I guess I could cap the front of it. It would be fine too. I'll leave it open so garbage can't get in it. I think that's the plan. But anyways, now that that is there, ooh, hot, that puts that mount like pretty much on the money. That's what we gotta have here. There's just enough room for a little, whew, that's warm. There's just enough room to put a little bit of a, like a mud flap or something in there. And then we'll be able to just run a big old bolt through the whole thing. I guess we could just do it through the top. Hindsight. But it's kind of hard to get at. So we'll continue it through the bottom. So I'll get the other one made up. And basically I'll bring you back and show you what's going on. Like I say, I think I'll leave it all open because it's just makes it easier to clean. That's kind of the thing. Like, stuff won't stay in there. But between this over to here onto the frame, this is going to be plenty strong. I don't think that'll be too big of a deal. And we're kind of following the structure on there. So if this was the pull, it's going to try to pull off the top of the frame and yada yada. It's better than a body lift, I feel, than just a random chunk of pipe. Anywho, I got the majority of the hard stuff done. We just got to mirror this to the other mount, wherever it is, right there. Clean her up, and we'll do a little bit of the same here. Get this sucker, get them both on there, and then we at least have the back and the mid mounts done, and then we just got to figure out the front part of it. We did blast out the inner fender well, so over here, so that's made for a bunch of room. We still might have to clear more. I don't know how well that steering is going to fit underneath or how that'll work yet. So I'll have to figure that out. I'm hoping we can kind of squeeze by here because just by the steering box you can just see the hole there. So I'm hoping I can kind of reuse that mount. Be nice. And then basically clean this up quick and zap that sucker on. And then we can kind of run a fresh bolt in there. So we have our front mounts in. They're not pretty, but they will do the job. Middle ones are in, back ones are in, so we are pretty much golden. I did cut those mounts. I tried to unthread them. They're broken. We're going to deal with those later. I can't weld this one until I move this. I want to move the transmission up a little bit, but I might not. I don't think I'm going to get enough that it'll make a difference with that drive shaft, so I might just leave it. I don't know yet. But we can at least kind of set it down, see how things are going to work here. The steering, maybe get that clearance a little better. And well, we won't bolt it down, but we'll just kind of get it in the zone where it's supposed to go. We can drop a few bolts through. Maybe I'll dig around in the back of the cab, see what's holding those bolts in. If we can knock those out and drop some pins down, that would be mint. Yeah, like you say, you can see this sucker is a permanent fixture on the front here. There's a lot holding her in, so I think we'll just leave it alone, and it is what it is. Well, we have our cab bolted. Well, it's not bolted down, but we have all of our mounts done. We got one mount up there. Back there, the one behind is on. I did a little bit of trimming. I got to do some more here, just to make a little bit of breathing room around there. I'm trying to work on adjusting my hood, because something's just not quite right with it, but either way, our steering looks like it's going to work out pretty nice. So I don't think I need to trim any more there. We are good there. Again, do a little bit of fender trimming. And then I kind of centered up my box, so that's the kind of gappage we got. But the wheel looks right. So it kind of works out to about 9.5 inches is what we're going to have to either move or stretch or like cut. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to lean to cutting the frame and shortening it up. And then I think my end goal will be to take the back half of this frame and use it to finish this up with the bumper and stuff. That's kind of the plan. If I can make it work, I would like to get the dump bed somehow working with this box. I think that would be awesome if I can make it work with the front of the cab there. But we don't know. I don't know if that'll work or not, but in hopes, maybe I can. And that'd be kind of cool. But anyways, I think for now, that is where we are going to finish this one. We got our mounts done. So now I'm pretty much ready. Like I can sandwich the cab down, but there's no point at this round because we got all this rust to deal with. So at some point the cab's going to have to come off again, and we're going to have to deal with that. But I kind of want to get the frame done. I'd like to get, yeah, like shortened up there, get the bed mounted, get the rear extension done. Probably try working with the motor, get the motor in. Again, I want to move this ahead. I'd like to move this ahead only because I got to shorten the drive shaft anyways. So I'd like to move it ahead and then actually just out of sheer luck, maybe fix my drive shaft. Because you can see, I don't know if you can or not, but it's it kind of fell apart. It's too short. So if I can move this ahead, because there's going to be like more than enough room for that motor in here. So I think I'm going to order a few things. You've seen when I took this apart, this rad was pretty hosed. So I probably order, I think I'm just going to order an aluminum rad just so I don't have to mess with this and it'll just be good. I might order some motor mounts, but I think I want to design something that slides for these square bodies. I'm going to order a set of headers. Hopefully they work, because I know the manifolds don't. And normally you would use these block hugger ones, but I found some on Amazon for like 160 bucks, so I'm going to see if they'll work. If not, they'll work on something, I guess. But yeah, I think that's like future me plans. For now, I just want to, like I say, I think next round I want to focus on shortening the frame, hopefully getting the frame and the back done. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the progress. So, as always, folks, I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.